Alright, hey guys, I know it has been a minute, but I have been traveling for like the last month, and the summer's just been, been laying back. It's been nice. But importantly, I wanted to go over exactly why I think we're gonna reach all-time highs. I know I said that a little while ago, but I really do think we're gonna hit all-time highs, specifically on ES within the next, I'd argue, in less than a month, like probably in the next couple weeks. I know I said that a while ago, but I did not call it right. We've just been accumulating on ES and downtrending on MNQ. But I want to go over my bias and whatnot. And then on top of that, I have been eating it in the markets. So I have been working on a, I've been backtesting a ton and working on a strategy to implement in trading. I'm just trying out. I'm not going to show it to you guys yet, but when I do finally like finalize it, maybe I'll show a couple aspects of it. But you'll know it when you see it with my trades. But let's go ahead and get into it. So I want to go ahead and start with we can get rid of this for now. But I wanted to start with, let's go and start on the monthly. So on the monthly, we had, this was the first quarter of the year, which is often accumulation on both assets. We had accumulation before we had this little spike down, which then gave us our extension to the upside. What I want to look at now is what we've done for the past like month. In April, we exploded to the top, and then we accumulated for June, I think, and then for the month of July, we have now retraced on the monthly and weekly, and we'll go over all that. So what this looks like to me is, one, we have a new month opening gap right there, which on NQ we did not manipulate until like the other day, like a day or two ago, and then on ES we manipulated very early on, and which is part of why I think ES is going to reach all-time highs before NQ. On top of this, I want to go over this. So we also have a monthly fair value gap here. This is all high time frame analysis, which is what I've started to lean on, especially after, like, as you guys may know, I'm in the Fearing mentorship, and a lot of his and Halo's bias comes from high time frame analysis. They don't start on like the 1 minute or the 5 minute. They're on like the 1 hour and the 4 hour looking for SSMTs. Once they find SSMTs and manipulation, they can then go down to lower time frames, which is exactly what I'm trying to implement in a lot of my trading as of recently. So I want to go through this right here. So these are monthly fair value gaps, and then when we drop down, and on the monthly we've been bullish, very bullish in general. And then on the weekly here, what I've been betting on is we have all-time highs, and we're going to retrace to, I mean, not exactly 50%, but roughly 50%. What sits around that 50%, in my opinion, is these fair value gaps in here. We have this overlapping or nested fair value gap inside of this monthly fair value gap. We'll go ahead and call this weekly. And then over here, we have a fair value gap right there, which we never manipulated, to be fair. But I think that conveniently aligns really well with this new month opening gap, which we also had on MES. But if you see on MES, we pulled this out on the week of June 8th. And on the week of June 8th here, we were way far above it on MNQ, which allowed for a lot of time for retracement on MNQ, which is why MES has been more of doing that side, just moving from left to right instead of up and down. It's much more accumulation style. But as this has come around, now that we've hit this, with this we've also hit core quarter cycle SSMT, which I will also go over here 1 second while I go ahead and apply that. And I don't know why my computer's so slow right now. It's been taking a solid minute to load. Oh, good God. Yeah, see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Okay. But if we go ahead and this is going to be a longer video, just so we're all on the same page. If we take all of these SDs off, just so we have our more important high time frame SSMTs that we can apply. Did I not turn the labels off? I feel like I just turned the labels off. I did not. Okay, sweet. Now we're good. So what we also formed down here was a quarter cycle SSMT. So see right here is that quarter cycle SSMT. So it was on this low, which is also when we mitigated this fair value gap and when we took out this new month opening gap. On ES or MES, we also had that quarter cycle SSMT, but we mitigated this new month opening gap a long time ago, which is allowing for this quarter cycle SSMT. So that's kind of what set it up. Now we can go ahead and look at on these lower time frames. We've clearly been bullish. We've been respecting bearish imbalances and order blocks to the downside until we made this quarter cycle SSMT, which we took out right here, mitigated this new month opening gap, hit the fair value gap, and now if you look on ES, this is actually a market structure shift right there. So I think that's going to be a very relevant piece to what we're doing. Is we have this quarter cycle SSMT, which you can see here, and then we have that market structure shift on ES, which I think that placement of the market structure shift went right as we're entering the second third of the quarter, which the first third we always cross out, and the second and third are often more volatile and have some more direction and volatility to them. So that's kind of what I'm banking on at the moment, and that's kind of what I'm going for. I've been calling for these relative equal all-time highs right here. We have this high right here, and then we have this high right here, both of which I think are going to get taken out in the next couple weeks, like I said before. So that's kind of my bias for right now. I want to go ahead and start taking longs on ES up to all-time highs if I can. Excuse me. I think that'll be big in my opinion. I think that'll be a beneficial period for me. Also, I started working on a new indicator, which is this. It does quarter sequence overlap. If anyone's interested, let me know. I haven't published it yet because I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about it yet, but I'm a big fan, so figured I'd mention that. But one thing that I also wanted to look at was when we divide. If I go ahead and turn on this, and we go ahead and we divide this is SD. 1 moment. We do yearly quarters, and if I go ahead and I get rid of all of these real quick. Okay. If we cover this and we go over quarters of the year, for our quarters of the year, what this looks like in my eyes is we have this could be XAMD, where we have reversal, except this doesn't look like accumulation, so I have a hard time believing that this is XAMD. This looks more like AMDX, where we now have accumulation to the downside. We have manipulation to the upside. We'll have one small leg of manipulation in the second quarter of this quarter, which I think is now, honestly. Jeez. Well, let's think about it. When did the quarter start? June. We do it in thirds, but No, I think that fits. I think that fits. Because July was the first third. Yeah, I think I think this will probably be AMDX, where we have accumulation, manipulation. We'll manipulate these highs right before we distribute to the downside, taking out these lows. I think we're looking pretty bearish for at least the rest of this, the rest of this quarter. And then as far as AMDX goes, I mean, we'll see as we get into fourth quarter. I don't totally know yet. It's not really my place. I'm not gonna go and predict the future. I don't have that skill yet. But yeah, no. I think that's fairly fitting as far as the quarterly cycles go. And then if we go ahead and we go down by one to monthly quarters, and we go and look at it on the daily, our monthly quarters starting in June. Yeah, so what we have right here is this is split into thirds again. So every quarter is 3 months. So we have this again. To me, it looks like accumulation, especially on MES. This looks like accumulation to me here as well. Accumulation, but this could easily be the manipulation leg before distribution, and then X being the reversal. So we could have AMD, but I mean, it is a 3 month cycle. So AMDX would all have to, D and X should have to overlap somewhere. But regardless, I could easily see this being accumulation, manipulation, distribution, reversal, and I could see some high time frame SSMTs if MNQ doesn't come and take out these all-time highs. I think that would be a very strong signal that we should be targeting these lows down here, which that would be a big drop. That would be like a 25% drop in the market. We'll see. But I think that lines up very well, personally. And then if we go ahead and we go down one more session, I'm not going to go down any farther after this because I think we're getting into the smaller portions here. The first full week. So these 4 weeks right here are what we were looking at. Probably plays out better on MES. Here we are. Yeah. So this was first full week accumulation, manipulation of these highs, distribution, continuation, and then reversal. So I think we're looking very good for highs, the all-time highs to be taken out. That is definitely my biggest draw on liquidity at the moment. I would love to trade to them, especially on MES. I don't know if MNQ is going to take them out. I could see it being a very high time frame SSMT and allowing for us to then start a reversal that I see coming, because I do see bears in our bearish market in our future coming very soon. So, and I plan to capitalize off of it. But yeah, no, I'm gonna keep working on my strategy, continue backtesting, and hopefully I will be able to implement that in the coming weeks as we take out all-time highs and then reverse. So that's kind of just my take at the moment. I'm gonna do my best to really when the things I'm focusing on mainly right now with my backtesting and the strategy that I'm developing is definitely trading less. It's like 1 to 2 trades a week, if any at all. But I would say there's typically at least one entry a week at minimum. And then, so it's very minimal trades. And on top of that, I want to focus on trading in line with the higher time frame trend. So like on MNQ, this leg right here was great for shorts, phenomenal for shorts. And I think the way we could have known this was on the higher time frame. We are continuing the bullish trend, but we need to retrace this range, and that range did not get traded to 50% per se, but we did get traded to fairly low. One thing that we can look at is true year opens. True year open. It should be opening right down here. I don't know. That's probably because I'm on too high of a time frame. Maybe on a lower time frame. But true euro opens down here, and we're extended to the upside. I think we take out these all-time highs and return to true euro open, and then we'll have great buying opportunities. That's my take. But like I was saying with my strategy, I really want to work on following in that high time frame trend, taking less trades, taking bigger trades. I guess I'm kind of starting to overlap into the area of swing trading, but more so taking bias from high time frame and finding entries on really, really low time frames using the concept of time, knowing that the chart is both X and Y axis, and a lot of the time we only take Y axis, which is price, and we try and use that as our anchor and then building a bias from there. I think it's really important to take, especially like my entries, and base them off of the x-axis and time, and basing them around time. So I really want to work on that. So yeah, I've been leaning heavily into quarter theory concepts as far as quarter theory and then quarter sequence, which is part of quarter theory. But it's just the idea of when specific quarters overlap with one another, we get higher probability setups. So yeah, I've been messing with that a lot. And yeah, that's about it for me. I will go ahead and give an update. Maybe not tomorrow, but definitely as the week progresses. Actually, I may do tomorrow just for like my week. I guess I kind of done a weekly bias though. But I want to go ahead and update you guys on how my back testing is going once I do a little bit more. I've only been doing it for the past couple weeks, so I want to get more, and I'm starting to really narrow down my rules for entry. But once again, I need more back testing to really put these rules in a concrete foundation so that I can back test them and then from here forward test them and see if my strategy is being implemented correctly. So wanted to throw that out there. Appreciate you guys, and as always, check out the indicators in the WAP. I updated a bunch of those, so go check those out. And they look really cool, and doing constant updates on them, especially on a lot with swing divergence, and I worked on SSMTs a week or so ago, making sure those were all set up. So go check those out. Let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.